Well, then business brokering or M&A advising is the next step up because, again, our work is much more complicated than a straight real estate transaction because there's real estate and there's the business. So, and our primary, one thing that's really different about us is in the real estate market, you tend to represent the buyer or the seller. Many times we represent the transaction.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kessel. Today, I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Lauren Drummond-Dale, who is a business intermediary working on the buy and sell side of different businesses. So excited to have you here today, Lauren.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. So let's dive in. First off, for those who are not familiar with you and your work, can you share what your main focus is?
So our main focus is helping owners of businesses either buy or sell. And the factor of real estate comes into play because so many owners actually own their real estate. Or sometimes I have a business owner that maybe has a strip mall or a large restaurant, and they need an investor to come in and buy the real estate, and then they'll come in and buy the actual business operations and operate that. So it kind of works hand in glove. I work with a lot of commercial realtors, and I work with a lot of investors too. Sometimes I can sell a business, but they don't have the funds or the borrowing capacity to buy the building. This happened one time last year where I had a large liquor store in a building that they owned. The owner owned the building and the property, but the buyer only had the capacity to buy the business. So we had to reach out into our network and find someone that wanted to buy the building and then charge the business owner, of course, rent for a nice cap rate normally. So, Michelle, I've been doing this for 16 years. I'm a master certified business intermediary with the International Business Brokers Association. I teach on negotiation. I teach on how to be a better business broker. We don't have as many states that we're licensed in as realtors are. Although I am a licensed realtor in the state of Mississippi, there's many states that a business broker does not have to be licensed. So we work within our organization to bring the caliber of business brokers and lower middle market mergers and acquisitions advisors up to the same level of transparency and education as our realtor cousin.
Awesome. And so which states and markets are you operating in?
So I operate all through the Mid-South. I'm actually business partners with lower middle market advisors across the U.S., so I can actually work anywhere. I try to stay in the Mid-South to keep my travels to a fair minimum. I don't want to go out to California on a regular basis to deal with a client.
Awesome. And so what would you say are some of the main keys that have allowed your business to be able to grow and run successfully?
So I'm pretty entrenched in my community for the small storage units or laundromats or small restaurants the last couple years, because I've been doing this so long.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I've started dealing with larger businesses, and I do a lot of outreach for those businesses and a lot of education. CPAs sometimes need me to come in and teach for their continuing education. Sometimes commercial realtors will have me come in for their continuing education because you commercial realtors are going to deal. They're going to see the businesses that are for sale, or they may have a client. One of the uses that I've been used for is maybe a large shopping center has a leasee that is not doing well or needs to sell or needs to relocate, then they'll reach out to me. The strip mall will reach out to me and ask me if I can help that leasee transfer to a new owner.
Hmm. Awesome. And so, what types of businesses do you work with? Is there like um any types that you specifically do or don't work with?
Yeah, so I'm a generalist, and anything in the 2 to 40 million top line revenue range, I'm perfectly capable of working with and have experience working with them, with the caveat that if it was a SaaS, which you're not going to run into in the real estate market, most likely, a SaaS, I would reach out to one of my business partners or business associates. If it was medical, I would bring in someone to work with me because there are some nuances in different industries that you really need to work with someone that's done a lot of sales in that business. I know most of the questions to ask for most of the industries because prior to doing this, I had a 30-year career in about 10 different businesses. So I have experience across the board. I was in the automotive industry. I was in the wood and pellet industry. I was in the manufacturing home industry. Did property management for a while. So, one of the things that helps me explain what we do is, we think of a residential realtor as being the starting point for someone to get into a real estate career. And then they get a little more sophisticated, a little more education. They move up to the commercial realtor range. And the difficulty of doing a deal increases as the money increases, right? And the education that's required increases. Well, then business brokering or M&A advising is the next step up because, again, our work is much more complicated than a straight real estate transaction because there's real estate and there's the business. So, and our primary one thing that's really different about us is in the real estate market, you tend to represent the buyer or the seller. Many times we represent the transaction. Of course, we have a fiduciary responsibility to whoever's going to pay us at the end of the day, but we often handle both sides of the transaction because many times it's the first time that someone's been through a transaction. Now, I have a client that had 3 franchise locations, and I sold them last year for them. They were in 3 different states. I'm sorry, 2 different states. And now they're looking to me. They want to make a passive investment in a real estate, maybe a little strip center or something that's hands-off operation with a passive income. So, it kind of flows back and forth.
Yeah, awesome. And so, what are you most focusing on solving or scaling to next?
So I decided last year to increase the capabilities of the company through upgrading CRMs, upgrading my website, getting access to more data services for our business so that I can pull comps. Realtors can't pull a comp on the last 5 liquor stores that sold or the last 3 tire manufacturers that sold where we can. And I also brought on a couple new brokers. So I like to teach and I like to mentor. And this business is a tough business to get started in. So I brought them on, and I'll be working with them and helping them develop their careers.
Awesome. So, What does kind of like the process look like when someone
Mm.
works with you?
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So buyers reach out to us all the time. It's amazing as an investment area that you're in, you well know there's a lot of money out there. They're not going to spend it foolishly, but there's money that needs to be placed out in the market, and they're looking for the place to put it. So we're overloaded with buyers. They're coming to us every day in all different kinds of shapes, forms, and fashions. The difficult of our business, the first step is finding a ready, willing, and able seller that has hopefully prepared his business to get the most value for his business when we put it on the market. Sometimes we work with a client for 3 or 4 years before we actually go to market because we want it to be positioned where the buyers are interested in it. And the next step for us is to value the business. We do an in-depth evaluation on a business. We don't do just a market analysis like you do in the real estate market. We do a deep dive into all their financials. We have a lot of interviews. It's a intense process that we go to that takes several weeks for us to do, similar to an appraisal, but not nearly as expensive. Then when we start screening the buyers because a business owner or even a shopping center owner often doesn't want anyone to know that the item is for sale. So we have to operate in a confidential manner. So we have to screen everybody that expresses interest in the opportunity that we're presenting. Then once we've narrowed it down to a handful of potential buyers or a lot of potential buyers, then we begin buyer interviews with the seller.
Yeah.
Then we start going through negotiations, and then we finally get an LOI, and we finally get a purchase agreement, and then the fun starts because then, unlike in real estate where you do a purchase agreement and you do a title search and off you go, we have a lot of due diligence that has to happen. Lawyers get involved, accountants get involved, and so that process can drag out. We see a lot of SBA loans used. Um, and if property and the business are blended together, and if someone's buying the business and the property, the SBA can do a blended rate. They might get 20 years on their business loan, which is huge, as versus a normal business loan without the real estate factor, they'd only get 10 years.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. That's a unique opportunity. Is it usually like investors that come to you or just anyone?
It's both. Small businesses, sometimes someone's looking to buy a job, just to be perfectly frank about it. Larger businesses, you have private equity groups coming in. Sometimes we have to utilize a REIT process to transfer the real estate for tax purposes for the owner. So most everything we do is keyed around the business owner, but so many of them own their property. Or we have property, if property owners are leasing space to business owners, they're another active area of expertise for us because they need to keep their spaces full, right? Um, and if they have to present, sometimes property managers, I've worked with some property managers that were trying to sell their book of business, and we would reach out to other property managers, and that's kind of a niche market. You don't value a property management company like you would a boutique, or a small medical practice or a dental practice or a veterinary practice. There's so many different businesses out there. It's one of the things I love about what I do is it's different every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there like a typical type of business that you normally work with?
No, again, it's the revenue side. The 2 to 40 million top line revenue is our sweet spot. Not that we won't work with someone that's under that or over that. Not that we won't work with a landlord that needs to for us to try to find them a new tenant for a location. Um, those are all things that we're perfectly willing to do.
Awesome. And so What do you feel are like some of the biggest opportunities in your industry right now?
So, how many realtors are there in the nation right now? What is the number on that? Do you know?
I
Happen to
don't
know
know.
commercial or tough?
Not sure.
Hey, there's many, right?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Tens of thousands, tens and tens of thousands of realtors. So there is about 3,000 business intermediaries uh, that do lower middle market and Main Street. So the competition is not nearly what it is in the real estate market, but it's more difficult. Excuse me, the paychecks are big, but they can be spaced out quite far apart from each other. But I think if someone is
Yeah.
coming out of a career, the two really nice paths to this are so a corporate executive that's getting out of the corporate world and would like to run his own business. I'm currently working with a young man now that's in the medical field, and he would like to step out and own a business and operate a business. And he has experience, so we're looking at a medical based company for him, so that his experience, although not business operating, will help him move forward. And there's no real estate in that deal. But and then I'm working with a agricultural company that actually has 4 locations across the Southeast. And there's a big real estate component in that. We're thinking we're gonna be looking at an investor to buy the real estate, and then a private equity group to buy the actual business operations.
So do most of your clients seek you out?
For in my community, within probably 100 miles of the Mississippi Gulf Coast, they search me out. They know I'm here, and I'm about the only one here, so they reach out to me. In the when it starts getting up in businesses that do 10, 20, 30 million, that's more of an outreach on our part.
Got you. And so how do you normally like find your clients?
So we have access to knowing that people are searching for words like how do I sell my business? How do I value my business? So we reach out to those people through drip campaigns and that sort of thing. We also know who's coming to our website. We reach out to them. It's in some instances I'll actually attend a conference. If I
Mhm.
have a business in a particular industry, I might go to that industry's conference so that I can meet people that might want to buy that business.
Yeah, so sounds like networking is an important
Yeah,
aspect.
it is. It is. Yeah.
Awesome. And so when it comes to like the real estate side, um, are you working with agents as well?
Yes. Yeah. So one of the networking activities I do is the Mississippi Commercial Realtors Association. I work closely with them. We tend to co-broker on things where they'll mostly represent the real estate side of the transaction, and I'll mostly represent the business side of the transaction. But we have different flow that we can reach out to buyers. So it's of value to both of us to market that way. And it's no harm, no foul if they sell the property and I don't sell the business, or vice versa. But for many years, I thought they were my competitors, because sometimes commercial realtors will try to sell a business, although they don't really have the experience or the knowledge to do it in the best way. Um, but I have found out the ones that are educated and the ones that are experienced, they immediately reach out to me, because they know they need to, they're better to stay in their lane.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Awesome. So before we begin to wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more about what you're up to, where can people find you and reach you?
So pretty easy to find if you Google Lauren Drummond-Dale. There's a lot of Lauren Drummonds, but seems to only be one Lauren Drummond-Dale. We have a website. It's www.coastalconsult.org. or they can email me at lauren@coastalconsult.org. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're pretty easy to find. Coastal Consult and Coastal Consultants. Yeah, just the website is just Coastal Consult, but we are Coastal Consultants.
Perfect. Appreciate your time and your story. Thanks for being here.
Sure, Michelle. Glad to be here. Hope it's helpful.
Thanks. Absolutely. And for the listeners that are tuning into our show, if you got value, make sure you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators like Lauren who are building real businesses, and we will see you all on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.